Dear students, myself Dr. Anup Kumar. I am going to teach you in this class casting. In the last class, I have discussed about metal forming. In the production technology, metal forming is a process where I explained you the material is deformed to a particular object, how the material is deformed, and a product is prepared without any defects, without any losses. In this class, we are going to teach you the casting. In the casting, what are the steps involved? Casting is not any new technology, but we are day by day developing new technology in the casting. Our nation, in India, we produced casting around 300 BC. Now you must have seen in the Delhi Qutub Minar that one pillar near Qutub Minar that is very long, 7.2 meter, which is made of pure malleable iron, and it is not rusting. This much big casting, the technology to understand how it was produced. China, if you take, they produced the first casting in 1500. Our Indus Valley civilization is famous all over world for casting. They were producing their casting. With that casting, weapons they made, tools, utensils, these all are they made. Now, at what material they used was the copper and bronze. But nowadays, we are using different materials. So casting, let us know what is casting. Casting is a manufacturing process in which a liquid material is usually poured into a mold which contains hollow cavity. This cavity is made of desired product shape, and then it is allowed to solidify. The solidified part is taken out, and this solidified part is called casting. This is the definition. Now please understand this definition word by word. Students, please concentrate here each word. So what is casting? Is a manufacturing process in which a liquid material, please understand liquid material. What is meaning of here liquid material? Any material, if you heat up to its melting temperature, or any metal which you heat up to its melting temperature, it will become liquid. See here, this iron, if you take example, this figure you see here, this is the figure, means metal is melted. Metal is melted. If you melt the iron, it will become exactly same color. And this melted metal is called molten metal. What is generally it is called? Molten metal. And this molten metal is poured into a mold. Where it is poured? In the mold. This mold is having inside cavity. What type of cavity? That cavity shape should be exactly as of the desired product shape. So molten metal, which is now being poured in the mold. So now first step, liquid material is poured in the mold and which is having a cavity. Next step, it is allowed to solidify. Next step, what is next step? It is allowed to solidify. It is not 1 minute, 2 minute job. It is given hours together, 5 hours, 6 hours, 10 hours. Depends upon different metal, different time, different cooling rate. Now it will solidify. The process of solidification is also very interesting, that I will discuss in the next class. Now, different cooling rates are there for different materials. So it will take different time. So you have to have a knowledge of different materials, different metals, and accordingly you have to decide and design the time. This, whatever the liquid metal you have poured inside the cavity, now that is became solid after some time. This solid part is taken out from the mold. Sometimes mold is in two parts, upper part which is called cope, lower part which is called drag. These two parts will separate and will take out the solid product, and this solid part is called as a casting. Sometimes this mold is less expensive, it is broken also, and we take out a solid part, and then this solid part is called the casting. So understood what is casting? Casting is a manufacturing process in which a liquid material is poured inside the mold, which contain a hollow cavity of desired shape, and then allowed to solidify. This solidified object or product is taken out from the mold, and this solidified object or product is called casting. Let us see the, as I discussed, mold. What is mold? You see this in this figure, this is mold. This is the lower portion of the mold called drag. In this lower portion of the mold, we need to make cavity. What is this? This is cavity. What is this? This is cavity. How to make this cavity? What is this put here? This is called pattern. Pattern is put inside the mold, and around the pattern we put the sand, and we ram the sand. Means we make the sand equalize. Bit ramming is required. After ramming sand, like this, you see the figure. Now we will take out this pattern. After taking out the pattern, like this cavity will be formed. So very easy, understood, very economical, very less cost. What simply we are using? Sand we are using. So how to prepare the mold cavity? Very easy step. A pattern. This pattern must be the desired shape of the product. So pattern is nothing. Pattern is the replica of the product. So pattern is kept inside the mold, and sand is rammed around the pattern, and pattern is taken out. We get the mold cavity. If this mold cavity is complicated, complex, we get a complex object. So with the help of the casting process, we can get a complex shape object. Not a simple object. We can get a complex shape object which is not possible to make with the help of other processes which I have discussed in the previous class, like metal forming processes, metal cutting processes. Now you see, understand more pattern. Pattern which I kept inside the mold. See, this is simply made of this pattern is made of the wood. WOOD, wood. Pattern made of wood, very cheaper. Okay, there are different pattern material that we'll discuss in the next class. And this pattern we'll take and put in the mold, and then we'll ram the surrounding sand. Like this will make the mold cavity by taking out the pattern. Next step, the molten metal is prepared outside in the furnace. In the furnace, metal is melted, and that liquid metal is brought and put in the mold cavity. Then we close the mold and allow to solidify some 5-6 hours, different time for different metals. After that, after solidification to room temperature, we'll open the mold, we'll get like this product. This product is called casting. And this product, like this product, So these are the products which have been made by the casting process. See here, surface finish of this product is not good. So from casting, we may not get a good surface finish. So we need to go for the secondary operation. Steps involved in the casting. What are the steps? Just you understand here in the definition I told how to do casting. Same steps you write. Students, please concentrate. What I have done, first step. What I told the first step. This is very easy to do. You can do in your lab also. Foundry lab. So, first step, preparation of molds of patterns. Means take the pattern, put the pattern in the mold cavity. Put the pattern in the mold. After putting pattern in the mold, ram the sand surrounding the pattern and take out the pattern. You got the mold cavity. So preparation of the mold you got with the help of pattern. By putting pattern inside the mold and ramming surrounding the sand, then taking out the pattern is the method of creation of the mold cavity. Next step. Melting and pouring of the liquefied metal. Metal is to be liquefied outside in the furnace, and then it is to be brought from the furnace in liquid state in a ladle, and it is to be poured in the mold cavity. Second step completed. Now third step. Allow it to solidify for some time. Different time for different metals. Till it cool down to the room temperature. Third step is over. If this cool down to room temperature, then open the mold, top portion make separate, and take out the casting, solid casting. This solid casting, this solid object, this solid product is called the casting. Now whatever the casting you got, it may have some defects. So you need to go for the inspection. So defects and inspection will be done. Then these defects and inspection and advantage of the casting will be discussing in the next classes. Thank you. Please ask the doubts if you are having. After doubt clearing, when you get satisfied from the clearing of doubts, then we'll give a assignment. What is the assignment for today? What is casting process and what are steps involved in the casting process? Thank you.